Good evening, late afternoon rather. Welcome to the live broadcast of the 2025 International Trade Fair. I'm so glad to be with you or for you joining us today. Warmest welcome to you, Siani Tulela Hlelo, or live broadcast live from the Mavuso Trade and Exhibition Center. This is pavilion number 5. If you want to know where Eswatini TV studios are, we're at pavilion number 5. So, a trade fair, njengoba sonke sikhona la sibosoma business. Sibantu nje, just the general public in Eswatini nebantu ke labasuka ngaphandle sidilelana kuhlangana sibuthane sifundisane ngamabhizinisi la khona event la kangwane. Our theme yalonyaka ye trade fair is digital transformation, creating business networks 2.0. Na last year besithinzile le theme yethu le, but this time it's 2.0 kusho ukuthi reloaded. There's so much that has been added or enhanced, you know, kuyo theme yethu yalonyaka e trade fair. And of course, being a Tuesday today, the 2nd of September 2025, it is digital finance or digital banking and housing. Ministry of Economic Development and Planning. Hashtag smart cities. So today on the live broadcast, we'll have amazing conversations that we're touching on digitalization, you know, how we are improving our cities, improving our banking system, or ngathini digital, you know, banking system event lakangwane. So angihamba ngedwa ke libito lami nginokuphila kwamasangane ngihamba nejaha la kamakhanya lolijwayele on your screens. Neliswa, how are you doing? Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Nopila. How are you doing today?
I'm fantastic. It's so hot in Manzini, but I'm good.
I'm also doing very well. You know, I'm so excited to be actually here on this live, you know, together with you. You know, as you were talking about, you know, digital transformation 2.0, I loved it when you were speaking about how we are bringing it this year reloaded, which means that there is more that we want to talk to our viewers about, especially on the segment of today about digital transformation. You know, when we talk about digital transformation, it's not just limited to digital banking. We are going to touch on things like your financial technology today, which are things that really need to also follow suit as we are transforming. We cannot be transforming and our money is left behind, because we know that money is what does the language out there, you know.
Yeah. And speaking of, you know, some of the businesses, Lakona, Lomhlai Trade Fair, seeing Eswatini TV, we are trying to build ourselves, you know, to becoming a sustainable brand, you know, sustainable business more than anything. Ingakona tiskona la pai trade fairs. Nenhlanhla lenhleke namhla kuthi ukhona umcondzisi weSwatini TV Nelisa sifuna kuthi achazele eMaswati ukuthi njalo nina nasilethele live broadcast nendali la trade fair injongo nenhloso yeni eSwatini TV ngabe yini kahle kahle. So our CEO joins us, Mr. Mlamuli Dlamini, to talk to us about the latest Eswatini TV ukuthi sisathi digital transformation, this and that. You know, what is Eswatini TV doing ukuthi naye steshi broadcaster align with the latest, you know, technologies, ukuthi esibuke mhlambe kuletinye titeshi kubomakhelwane ukuthi bona bendani yile singayifunza futhi kubo. What would you like to ask the CEO, Nelisa?
You know, I would really love to ask the CEO to say, as far as we are digitalizing our services, how far have we gone as Eswatini TV, you know, in digitalizing ourselves, most especially so we reach every corner of Eswatini, because you know that we are on traditional media and right now we are talking about the rise of social media and things like that. So we want to know, how is Eswatini TV leveraging on the technology that keeps on improving each and every day so that we remain relevant in this season?
Yeah, well said, Nelisa. Sisaqhubeka nalo hlelo lwethu a live broadcast today. Sitawumita emathe sibuya naye umcondzisi weSwatini TV. He'll be telling us more on the latest at Eswatini TV. Lines out.
Imagine being part of a journey that uncovers the beauty of untold stories. Get ready to be part of something epic. You don't want to be left out, and you definitely don't want to miss out. Join the journey of uncovering untold stories through art, words, and hands. O-U-T out. Well, that's poetry. Don't blink or you'll miss it. Every Monday, 6:30 p.m. Screens on, eyes glued.
Ngikwende konke lobekubhekekile kimi. Nginikele ngengadi nemandla ami onke ngifeza tifiso tenu. Ngathi lathando nenjabulo ngithobela imiyalo yenu. Don't want to pursue manje. Don't touch me. Konke ngithembekile. Ngakhomba kuba indvodzana leqotho. Kodwa lo ngifuna manje ngeke ngikuthola. Ngekwami akusiko kwenu. Yimpi nekufa kuphela lokudangihlukanisa nawe.
Spotting opportunity across the borders. Can we talk about that? How important is it for Eswatini to not just think,
Yes.
this is where I have to find my being and move, but how can we also like find opportunities in other African countries, to be specific?
Well, I will answer that question out of my experience, and that is, I literally went to Tanzania. And then I started seeing opportunities.
Yeah.
If I didn't go to Tanzania, I was not going to see opportunities. I saw the potential when I was there. The travel agent potential is because I saw it there.
Yeah.
So I would really advise people not to confine themselves into one area. There is something they call the red card theory. The red card theory is if you're driving from here to Mbabane and you pass 7 cars that are red, and you will not notice them because you didn't think about noticing them.
Yeah.
But if I tell you before you leave here that I'll give you 20 rands for each red car that you see, on your way to Mbabane, you will tell me exactly how many red cars are there.
Yeah.
So that is spotting opportunity. That's basically putting your mindset and yourself in a position to see things, to see opportunities.
Don't miss Young Climber this Tuesday at 6:30, only on Eswatini TV.
Welcome back, Siyaqhubeka nayo live broadcast yethu. It's the 2nd of September 2025. Ngiyethemba ukuthi iweather iniphethe kahle. Kamanzini kuyashisa but kushisa kahle yabo. Lokumnanzi nangabe ufuna kusunbaska, ufuna kuthamela langa, buya la kamanzini nathi sikhona pavilion number 5 sing Eswatini TV. So joining us right now ngumcondzisi weSwatini TV, Mr. Mlamuli Dlamini, to tell us what's the latest, what's happening at Eswatini TV. Ngoba sihlale sibona ku social media, sibona tindzabeni, yabo kusuka serious, but namhla simtholile sithi nje akube laid back atosichazela about what's the latest at Eswatini TV. Because asikubingelele sikwemukele lo muhla lilanga likuphethe njani?
Siyabonga nokuphila. Ngivusele nje nebabukeli bonke ekhaya. Kuyashisa kamanzini kepha ke njengoba ushido, it's still winter season, so kuyashisa kepha nje ku bearable, so kukhuthata nje eMaswati ukuthi angesabi kushisa kakhulu ake trade fair atobona what Eswatini TV has to show lesikhombisa kweSwatini TV naletinye nje tinkampani.
Yes. Nkosi, Eswatini TV yahlala ikanexile trade fair ngimushamile mhlambe ngathi seneminyaka lemingakho Eswatini TV njalo ngeminyaka yahlala ikhona trade fair. Kumcoka ngani ukuthi steshi public broadcaster, especially television, ibe khona la trade fair ngokuthi lo nyaka nilethwa yini?
Asibasha sonke nokuphila nami solo ngimusha, kepha nje kuba khona kwethula njenge public broadcaster kumcoka kakhulu. Kwekucala nje I product yethu is supposed to be consumed by lonke liswati. Labanye balamba abantu labanye bakamanzini labanye basetinzaweni lapho khona kukhashane kakhulu khona nekufika. Kepha nje I trade fair naleminye nje imicimbi lefana nale isiniketa lelithuba lekuthi sisuke kuma studios zethu leMbabane, site store interactor nalama viewers zethu lemakhaya. Ngilapho khona ke sikhona nekuthola nemivo yalama viewers zethu sikhona nekuchazela kabanti lama viewers zethu ukuthi singubani sing Eswatini TV sibheke phi sendana ubasho bathi hayi thina naku lesithanza ukubona kakhulu nciphisana ngala ningede ngala sokuthine nje kusisita kakhulu to really connect, engage with our target audience nasite la, but also kuphinze futhi kuba khona kwethu la sisita nanangu lo ngakhoni kufika la ngetizatfu letahlukahlukene kungaba ngumfana lomncane ngekuthi mhlawumbe bekude bekade ampheketela ete ku trade fair kungaba ngulosakhulile kumbe ukhanje sowubanjwa sidimo tekukhula netimo nje letahlukahlukene but lokuba kwethu sibe khona la and sisakade bukhoma kuyasita sinalo khashana abone ukuthi kwentekalani ku trade fair abone nekusitinkampane tendani so to add to that siphinze siniketeke naletinkapane letikhona la ukuthi sale tikhuluma kenyalo tikhulume neliswati lonke tingagcini njengekukhuluma nalo khona kuta lapha kuphela but tikhulume nemaswati onke ukuthi mina nje nginginkapane zibanibani ngikhona trade fair ngitosho naku nanaku emaswatini.
Kuhle kakhulu lokho Nkosi. Now let's get into le space lesikuso lesi. I-Ministry of ICT yende umsebenzi lomuhla ukuthi yakhe i-hub, ngumlandvo lona ukuthi sonke sibe in one building. Angalahleki umuntu abhekelena nalena safuna umsakado wemoya wetithombe nani lokuphathelene nahulumende kangwane. Kuba lana nje Eswatini TV thine kusho ukuthini kithi ngoba siyathi ukuthi hulumende kulamalanga ubhizi promote i-government in your hand app thine sistart ayilana njani nalentuthuko lefana nale lokufaka ikhathi kuba la kule building lesikuyo namuhla.
That's a very, very good question. Sijabula kakhulu kuba la sibe nalabanye ngidawuthi lesisebenzisana nabo kule area ye broadcasting and just ICT in general. Ngithi angisho nje ukuthi liphupho leli lendvuna Honorable Minister Savannah Mazia lisho nje sekunemalangana athi ngifise ukuthi nasiphinze sibuya trade fair kulomnyaka lo site sihamba kanye sing ICT so that isitowuta la with one cohesive message to the public and it came out beautifully. Sing Eswatini TV, we are really excited and honored to be part of this pavilion and inzima yethu Sing Eswatini TV from government in your hand because nayo lenye message lenkulu that the ministry ngidawuthi nathi nje sonke sikhona la we are pushing in this hub ukuthi hey emaswati akati nga government in your hand emaswati aka subscribe to le application ya government in your hand thine ke njengoba ngishito nje earlier nokuphila ukuthi thine singilaba laba thatha lo mlayeto siwuhambise ufike tingoni tonke mikhakha yonke yelive so us being here we are amplifying the government in your hand message and asigcini nje la sitawuqhubeka nje kakhulu silibambise litiko simbambise nahulumende wonke to amplify the message because this is a great initiative from government and ngicabanga ukuthi emaswati nasafunziseke kahle nasakuconza kahle ukuthi uyini lo government in your hand usebenta kanjani kulonke eliswati litaba nayo le application.
Iyasita futhi kakhulu Nkosi nangabe sonke sesinayo le application ukhuluma ukuthi thine singilaba lamkhathi medium kahle ku transmitter information dasita nangabe sonke sesinayo le government in your hand app sesitakhona nekubona Eswatini TV kulamanye ama link la khona kule app ukuthi Eswatini TV nangula a click umuntu akhona kubona ukuthi sina besides the other platforms now ngifuna sikhulume indzaba ye digital city smart housing basically mhlambe longase wanyathele mabaleni Eswatini TV akati ukuthi we have a new structure lesisakha lapha ibaleni ka TV mhlambe sithi ayilana njani sisteshi thine with the latest smart housing technologies ukuthi nathi sihambe netikhathi.
Jongobusho, we are actually renovating our studios at Eswatini TV and Gulema renovations that we are incorporating a lot of new technologies to ensure efficiency and just eco-friendly systems in the facility. And one of the things that we are doing there is to install a lighting system that will ensure, if there's no one in the room, the lights just automatically go off. So, I've seen a lot of buildings, around the country whereby kusebsuku, you're almost certain there's no one in the building, but we are kanya, bar, right? And that speaks to, a lot of energy that's being just almost going to waste. So one of those systems that our installer lapa will also install a lot, we'll also have one of the latest and greatest firewalls and also internet systems in that building. And also it's going to be beautiful. I should say, even the aesthetics of
TV license and also speaking of TV license Nkosi makuna competition le ranako kumcwa kangakanani ukuthi singenelele competition sibhadalele TV license singenele competition kukhuthaza nje bosomabhizinisi lababhadalako nabo bantu futhi siluntu lesibhadala TV license ukuthi sichubeke sibhadale.
But maybe before we move on to that question, I just want to speak to even beyond the building, right? You're talking about digital transformation, right? Yes. Seeing Eswatini TV, we are now, we realize, our viewers want to reach us, through different mediums, Lamanya Kona, they're digital, right? So we are heavily investing and ensuring that Amaswati can reach us on platforms like YouTube. Amaswati can reach us on platforms like Facebook, TikTok, you name it, right? Again, this is us just keeping up with that digital transformation theme. You speak of a TV license, right? Amaswati can now pay TV license through Momo, so you don't have to go to your nearest post office like it used to be, many years ago. Now you can pay through Momo, you can, so again, just because I really like the theme of trade fair this year because we as a country, we need to transform and adapt and adopt this digital.
Thank you so much for joining us, Nkosi. Your first experience at the trade fair. Now, just your first experience, what did you get up to? What did you do?
First experience trade fair, I have to go back a long way, as you can imagine. But for me, trade fair was I think it would come with my family. Remember, coming here with my dad, and also coming here with the rest of my siblings, and it was just a pleasant time, a pleasant moment to be with family, and just creating memories and just enjoying being with family. And honestly, I am a family-oriented person, and I think these experiences like the trade fair did that for me.
The chance to also bring us together as families. Grace us with your presence, and of course, about what Eswatini TV is doing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Well, that is our CEO, CEO of Eswatini TV, Mr. Mlamuli Dlamini. Asitshela nje ukuthi Eswatini TV wendani ukuphi ubhekepi Eswatini TV, and I like the fact that sisaleli ngaphandle, we are making sure that set align with what's latest. Kunwa about social media, ukuthi sikhona, government in your hand is corner, nani sikhona, sibambisene Ministry of ICT. Let's take a breather. Nasibuya siyachubeka neliswa ukhona.
Lalela ngikutshele tindzaba letiphuma enkosini. Uthokandaba, tinfombi, imbali yemaswati ayiphelele esigodlweni elidzidzi mhla titimbili enyonini. Titawufike tibhalise ngalelo langa. Mhla tintsatfu tiyaphuma. Mhla titine tiyageca. Mhla tisihlanu tiyabuya. Mhla tisithupha tiyaphumula. Mhla tisikhombisa tiyachitsa. Mhla tisiphohlongo enyonini tiyagidza. imiyalo etikhulwini. Nguleso naleso sikhulu kubheke kokuthi sikhiphe emajaha lamane nabomake lababili. Kude kokuthi nakukhona lo ngaphilwa lomunye webamfana. Lawo lamabili emajaha akhone kubikela labafanele. Nekuthi lo mfana noma sekafakwe esibhedlela bakhone kubikela abatali emakhaya. Boba betikhulu bantha benkosi lababuke imimango. Kubhekekile kokuthi bayale imbali nemajaha kanye nabomake nabaphuma emphakathini. Nawe emajaha ayati ukuthi tinfombi tilala todwa nalabaduna balala bodwa. Boba betikhulu bayakhunjuta kokuthi bangakhiphi bantfana labancane ngenxa yekweswelakala kwemhlanga edvutane bese abasakhoni kuhamba indlela lenza. Siyimbali yeMaswati sichakazile sitakuncoba kuhlukubeteka. Usho njalo ke Mswati lomnyama kulabalithuli lodungandaba sembelebeleni makhephula ngejozi igazi liyaphalala. Ethe enophakathi.
The Ministry of Information and Technology is proud to participate in the 2025 Eswatini International Trade Fair, taking place from the 29th of August to the 7th of September 2025 at the Mavuso Trade Center in Manzini. This year's theme, Digital Transformation 2.0, Creating Business Networks, aligns perfectly with our mission to leverage technology as a driver of economic growth, social development, and innovation. We will be showcasing a range of initiatives that demonstrate our commitment to harnessing the power of technology to improve the lives of Eswatini citizens. The National Broadband Strategy aimed at increasing internet penetration and accessibility across the country. The e-government platform designed to enhance service delivery, transparency, and accountability in the public sector. ICT Incubation Center, providing training, mentorship, and resources to startup entrepreneurs and small businesses. The Digital Skills Development Program, equipping students and professionals with the skills needed to thrive in the digital economy. The 2025 Eswatini International Trade Fair presents an ideal opportunity for the Ministry of ICT to engage with local and international stakeholders, explore potential partnerships, and discuss collaborations that can drive innovation and economic growth. We invite investors, entrepreneurs, and organizations to visit our booth and explore opportunities for mutually beneficial partnerships. As a key sector, ICT has the potential to drive economic growth, create jobs, and improve the overall standard of living in Eswatini. The Ministry of ICT is committed to promoting the country's ICT capabilities and attracting investment to support the development of a thriving ICT industry. We cordially invite you to visit our exhibition booth at the 2025 Eswatini International Trade Fair and learn more about our initiatives, partnerships, and opportunities. Let us work together to empower innovation and drive growth in Eswatini.
Welcome back, and we are still broadcasting live from Mavuso Trade and Exhibition Center right here in the hub of the country. We're in the city of Manzini, whereby we are bringing you the 2025 Eswatini International Trade Fair live. And I'm sure if you're watching from your television set back there at home or wherever you are, you can tell a friend that we are also live on YouTube so they can follow through what is happening at the trade fair. And at this moment right now in studio, we are going to have an interview with Fisiwe Vilani, who comes from Eswatini Communications Commission, who is going to tell us more about what brings them right here at the trade fair. Fisiwe, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you too, and good afternoon to the viewer at home.
Awesome. So the viewer just wants to know, I want to know what brings, ESCOM at the trade fair in 2025.
ESCOM, as the regulator for communication services, is happy to be at Eswatini International Trade Fair 2025. We look after a number of sectors, and therefore it's important for us to come to the trade fair to raise awareness about the work that we do, to also meet face-to-face members of the public that actually have feedback for us around the work that we do, but to also educate mainly around topical issues at the moment. For the benefit of the viewer, we are the regulator of all communication services in Eswatini, including telecommunications, including radio and TV broadcasting, the postal and courier sector, and we also look after spectrum allocation. Recently, we have also gone into being the coordinator for cybersecurity in Eswatini, and we also look after data protection. So those are the various topics that we're actually here at the trade fair speaking to the public about.
All right, that's really exciting. Looking into the rollout, of networks like the 5G network and of course the smart city technologies that are taking over, Eswatini with such a storm, one would want to know that how ready are we for cyber attacks that might come in the future? As you spoke about cyber security, how ready are we as we are transforming digitally for cyber attacks?
Cybersecurity is actually a global challenge. Not just in Eswatini, but all over the world. We are actually struggling with the amount of crime that is out there where people are using technologies to commit crime. We do support the use of technology though. We are fully in support. Digital Transformation 2.0, that is the theme for the trade fair this year. To say as much as possible we want to be digital as Eswatini. However, it's also very important to educate people about the risks that come with that technology. So we are talking about cyber crimes in terms of links and emails that have got viruses, for example. We are talking about bofacata in terms of fraud and scams. We are also talking about cyberbullying. We are also talking about child pornography or even illegal access of other people's devices. As Eswatini, we are ready to play in the first world in terms of digital transformation. However, as much as possible, it is very important for us to also keep abreast in terms of what is going on out there and also protecting ourselves from being attacked by these cyber criminals.
Wow, that's really informative and amazing. Speaking about digitalization of our country, 2.0, most particularly in this year's trade fair, we are on 2.0. One would want to know, when we speak about the personal, privacy and data protection, that aspect of things, how far has the Commission gone, in making sure that our data is protected? Because we all know that all these technologies are capitalizing on data, data analysis, data processing. So how safe are we with our data out there in companies, in different spaces, and what is the Commission doing about that?
Okay, as Eswatini Data Protection Authority, which is one of the duties of the Commission right now, is to educate the public about their rights, for example. So if I give my information to an organization, what rights do I have? Can I refuse to give them that information? We are also educating companies to say, if you collect someone's data, it is your responsibility to make sure that firstly, you correct only the information that you need. So you cannot, as Eswatini TV, wanting to come to actually interview me for anything, then be asking me for my proof of residence. It is unnecessary in the transaction that we are going to do. Secondly, also to say, whilst you are keeping my information, I am Fisiwe Vilane, you have recorded me on your iPad, for example. It must not now be public knowledge. So you must not just put it anywhere for anyone to view. When you are now done with this interview and you feel there's no need to contact me in future, you must delete it. You cannot now throw it in a public dustbin, for example, for everyone to find. So those are some of the things that have not really traditionally been an issue before, because if someone comes and asks me for a phone number, before I would give them, it would not be a problem. But in terms of the Data Protection Act, it says, unless I have your consent, you can actually report me for giving someone else your number, because that is personal information and I should have the permission to share it. So I should not just share it anyhow. So there's a lot of education, and we are happy because the public is coming to our stand, asking the right questions, leaving informed. We've also got leaflets and brochures that we're giving out so that they can also educate the communities or their families that they are going back to. We are hopeful that, by the end of the trade fair, we would have changed things here and there in terms of data protection.
Wow, that's really amazing. You know, I think it's not so many people that actually know that keeping somebody's data can actually be such extensive, especially when we speak about nowadays, as far as the Commission is concerned, in making sure that you're protecting that data, you know. Just a follow-up question, a quick one on that one. I'm really interested to say, let's say we have these organizations that are not yet aware on how they're supposed to be handling people's data, or rather they need those trainings. So how do they get to actually contact you and actually have that relationship whereby now the data can be protected and they can be taught as to how they need to handle the data?
At the moment, we actually have an active campaign where we have been asking organizations to register just by online going onto the www.edpa.org.za website. But if they just search for EDPA Eswatini, it's going to appear. Maybe that is the simpler way of presenting it. So we have been asking organizations to actually register, as long as you are keeping people's information,
all right,
even your employees' information.
Okay.
If you are keeping anyone's information, you need to have registered.
Even if it's a church?
Yes, definitely. Churches, top of the list. So for those organizations that have not yet registered,
okay,
now they are actually doing something illegal, in the sense that they are now violating the law because they have not registered. However, we say there's an opportunity for them to come to us either at the trade fair, to also go online and contact us so that we can be able to help them comply with the law. Because at some point, when the inspections start, you don't want to be caught on the wrong side, then having to pay a fine or even, you know, some jail terms and all of that. I think for now, we are just looking at working together to make sure that everyone complies.
All right, that's really good. You know, earlier I visited your stand, you know,
yes,
when I got here in the morning, and I couldn't not notice, you know, the courier companies that
yes,
are on your stand, and I was wondering what is the connection between the two, up until I heard you in your introduction actually saying something about courier services. So I want to understand, what is DHL, Putumani, all those guys, what are they doing at your stand?
Okay, so we've actually been having themed days, just to say if you want to know more about a subject, you can come through to our stand and you get more details about it. So yesterday was our cybersecurity day. Today it's actually our postal and courier day. We have now invited some of the companies that we actually license, that we regulate, which are your DHLs and your Pufumani, to come and talk about their services. But we're also trying to encourage other courier companies to say, being registered with ESCOM is the right thing to do, because we know you exist. We're able to support you, including giving you free space at our stand to promote your business. But also to say, for a consumer that uses these licensed couriers, they are actually protected in case they are for example, their parcels get lost, but also just in terms of when they receive unsatisfactory service. However, if you use your in the boot or behind the trees kind of courier company, unfortunately, there is limited service that we can give to you as the regulator in terms of protection.
All right. You know, I think my final question, Fisiwe, would be, you know, after having spoken about all the different, you know, services that you actually having under the ESCOM, what is it that people can do when, let's say, they meet up, they have a problem that they encounter? You know, let's say now your information has been misused somewhere, somehow. How does it go on the reporting side of things, and how do you deal with those cases? Okay,
so we act as the escalation point for problems across the sectors that I've mentioned. You've got a problem with your service provider, EPTC, MTN Eswatini, Eswatini Mobile, or your postal and courier company, or even your TV station. You can actually speak to them if you feel you're not getting the service, or even you are not getting the apology that you feel you deserve. We are here as ESCOM to actually investigate your matter, to speak to them as well about it in terms of corrective measures. So you do have that complaint mechanism that goes up to the regulator point. And believe me, when you come to us to say, I have a problem with my service provider, we will definitely investigate it fully and be able to actually take it to conclusion, whichever way, but at the end you will be satisfied and the service provider will also be attended to.
Wow, that's amazing. All right, so where do people find you at the trade fair? I'm sure there are some people that want to pop by and see it for themselves and actually hear from you one-on-one, lay out their situations to you, and just you marketing their services to them.
We are at Hall 1, the main hall. When you go through the back entrance, we are right there by the corner, so you will definitely not miss us when you come into that pavilion. However, if you also want to come and experience us for cybersecurity especially, we are actually at the Pavilion 5 as well, the Government in Your Hand Pavilion, where we also have
this
Eswatini
pavilion
TV.
where we are.
Yes. So you can also come and speak to our members of the team as well, and they will be able to help you with anything that you would want to know with regards to ESCOM. But also we are giving out some nice prizes throughout the trade fair, and we also have some information brochures or even leaflets that people can take home and talk about and contact us and read more about what we offer.
Speaking about prizes, you know, I'm sure somebody will be thinking, what about television? Maybe if you come to this pavilion, you'll have an opportunity to appear on screen. Who knows about it? Thank you so much, Fisiwe, for having this interview with us.
Thank you so much for having me, and a good day to the viewer at home.
All right, I'm sure you have heard it for yourselves, viewers, what ESCOM is all about the cybersecurity, all about the data protection. In case you're feeling like your pictures are being misused somewhere in the internet, at least now you know who to talk to, most particularly the cyberbullying that is going on in the comment section of Facebook and all these social media platforms. Now we know who to run to. Let's take a short break, and when you come back, we still have more guests and interviews.
Ngikwende konke lobekubhekekile kimi. Nginikele ngengadi nemandla ami onke ngifeza difiso tenu. Ngathela Lthando nenjabulo ngithobela emiyalo yenu. Don't want to pursue manje. Touch me. Kukho konke ngithembekile. Ngakhomba kuba indvodzana leqotho. Kodwa lo bese ngikufuna manje ngeke ngikufuna. Ngekwami akusiko wena. Yimpi nekufa kuphela lokudangihlukanisa nawe.
Win big when you pay your TV license at the 2025 International Trade Fair. Step into the excitement at the Trade Fair, where staying connected brings you incredible rewards. Pay your TV license at our booth and stand a chance to score fantastic prizes all week long. What can you win? A dreamy weekend for two at Happy Valley, your perfect escape. A gourmet dinner thanks to our Sibanisami Hotel dinner voucher. A relaxing getaway with a George Hotel voucher. Delicious meals with an exclusive Ramblers Dining Restaurant voucher. The hottest tech gadgets from Computronics to upgrade your viewing experience. Food hampers by Logico. Building and fencing materials from Build It and Marksteel Eswatini. A tranquil retreat at Zimunye Country Club. And that's just the beginning. Grab the Skujana remote for only 100 emalangini or treat yourself to a new Skujana at just 350 emalangini. Never miss a moment with Eswatini TV. 29 August to 7 September 2025. Mavuso International Trade Fair. Don't let this chance pass you by. Join us, pay your TV license, and find yourself among the lucky winners. Connect, experience, and win. See you at the Trade Fair. Imagine being part of a journey that uncovers the beauty of untold stories. Get ready to be part of something epic. You don't want to be left out, and you definitely don't want to miss out. Join the journey of uncovering untold stories through art, words, and hands.
Yes.
OUT out. Well, that's poetry. Poetry. Don't blink or you'll miss it. Every Monday, 6:30 p.m. Screen's own Eyes Glued.
Welcome back. Siyaqhubeka nayi broadcast yethu digital banking or smart banking and housing 2.0. Siyaqhubeka nayi trade fair. Siyabonga kakhulu ba isikhom lesibenabo basitshela nje nabo ukuthi what are they doing? What are they up to? You know, what are the latest technologies? What are they doing to align themselves? Nale speed lesihamba ngaso speed sabo AI, speed technology and digitalization. And of course singa ngenik leyo besinaye CEO wase Eswatini TV naye ahamba kulona lolo layini asichazela ukuthi Eswatini TV wendani for wena mbukeli lobukelako manje. So we were lucky enough ukuthi sihambe sibe part of iseminar noma ngibathe master class. Iclass limqoka kakhulu lekusifundisa si-equipheke simaswati nge-smart city technology, right? Siyathi usemadolobha lafana yaseMbabane naManzini ayaposta ayakhuluma bo PRO nabo bachaza ngenzabe ma-smart cities. But why is that important? Why do you want to smarten our cities? My biggest fear bengulokuthi utakhanza ukuthi edolobheni sekusala kude umuntu neliswa edolobha selisala empty sisabambe inzabe ma-smart cities. What's your take on that?
You know, Nopila, you know, talking about the city of Mbabane, that is where I stay. You know, one moment I was just shocked. You know, you just wake up to cameras all over the city. I was wondering what is happening here. And they told me that you are in a smart city, young man. You're about to learn a thing or two. And I was very excited, I must say, to say that, you know, we are now going to have a safe space, knowing that, you know, we are capitalizing on the digital transformation that's there through security cameras and the rolling out of the 5G network actually in our city. I believe that the city of Mbabane is actually the one that is pioneering such things. It's not just only that, we're talking about smart housing solutions and all those kind of things. It's really exciting to see where we are going with the manner of digitalizing all things and improving the way that we are doing.
Yeah, and speaking of Mbabane, right, we had a chance to speak to CEO wedolobha laseMbabane, Ministerial ukuthi asichazela ukuthi idolobha selikuphi naleli phupho leli. Ngiyathi akusilo liphupho anymore. There's so much that is being done, so much on the ground that is being done. You know, kuthatha le dolobha silibeke ezinye la sasive ukuthi kugcine u10 ngenza ma smart cities, specifically in Mbabane. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's always good to see you. Siyabonga kakhulu umsebenzi omuhle niwendile namuhla to, you know, just create an opportunity of a masterclass for, you know, just, you know, mere people ikakhulu bantu abahlala eMbabane nalo ungaba interested of being part of this, you know, assignment. You know, mhlambe kokuqala umuntu angabuza ukuthi nasikhuluma nge-smart city sikhuluma ngani? Vele usichazele nje to understand layman terms.
No, siyabonga kakhulu. Mawukhuluma nge-smart city, imicimbi yabantu bajakela cabanga ukuthi sithi sikhuluma ngema-robots nemishini lemikhulu. Yes, there is a tenant and a pillar of lekhulumisa lo. Khona lo mlende vele lekhulumisa lo. Kepha mawukhuluma nge-smart city, number one, ukhuluma ngale infrastructure, of course. Number two, ukhuluma la ngalabantu. It understands ukuthi leli dolobha lakhelwa umuntu. So it must be smart, but equally the people abahlala kuleli dolobha must be smart as well. It talks about the use of artificial intelligence and the innovations that are coming out, Internet of Things, digitization, technology, innovation. Smart City sebenzisa logo so that you deliver on your services. It's talking about being smart, being agile, thinking on your feet, and not always thinking ukuthi lama innovations lendeka ku private sector. If businesses are becoming smarter and businesses are using what is out there in terms of big data, Internet of Things, digitization, they are automating. What are you doing in a city perspective? So the smart talks about that. It then translates figure nasekutheni nangiliswati nje ama-services la ngathola kumasipala ngathola in the fastest and smartest way. Mangabe ebhange mina ngiyabhanga kwibhange lami. I haven't been to the bank over 5-6 years, but ngiyaqhubeka every day ngiyasebenza ngisuke ngilandi kamasipala. So those are the questions the smart city asks you. Lembo lo yendako uyenda smart na usebenzisa all available information netinsita letikhona in terms of digitization, internet, AI goes ukuthi lembo lo yendako ibe smart. So kunaloko kwekhathi vele ke khona nalokuba smart in terms of infrastructure, smart traffic lights, smart security cams, smart monitoring of weather patterns, smart green cities. So kukhona konke lokho. But mawukubuka ukuthi sebenzisa technology to enhance what you do and you deliver smarter.
It's nice how you mentioned the fact that there's all these resources that are just coming together to make, you know, the city better, more accessible. You know, in the communication, the technologies the communication. And you know, what is the reason why we have cameras in town? That's the one thing that I'm curious to know.
When you talk about a smart city, then it's not even in smart city. Once I feel secure in my space, if I'm not in Pepile, now corner come back so. Now corner for selling jogging, now corner to start bicycle, I'm shove it or open now corner for the business, I'm 24 hours. So if Aviation, Yambabani is a space smart, I don't allow it to low, but now Hambalamani Mave, Agalale Mave, and Wala no talk quickly. You want to create cities that are vibrant 24 hours. In African countries, but in some of the things that relate to that, relating to the security and safety. So you want to create smart cities that are safe cities. Because like in Kulumile, so when you bring in surveillance, you are bringing in an extra element of security. But namjong hamba ngono bangathi ne camera la. So awufaka emakhaya ethu ayasgada security and you feel you can do more in your city. Akasiko ukugada abantu but ukuthi wa reverse uthi akasiko alokugada alokuthi mina ngiveng safer so that I can do more in my city, I can walk my city, I can find my daily ngapheli nga5. So ngimuva nje longa lami ngochubeka liphela nga12 midnight and I do more. I can walk ngekhaya ebusuku, I can cycle when I want to go home ebusuku. Kutawuphela lokho ukuthi nga6 ngena letindlini akaphephi. So it's about security but as well it's also about creating a safe space where the economy can constantly be generating and moving and living.
Yeah, one reason why one would decide to maybe buy a house, decide to now migrate to the city. Now, what are the short-term goals of this project? Specifically, what have you done so far and what do you hope to achieve? Maybe in the next 5 years, 10 years?
The vision ya smart city, vision ya hulumende. Akusiko nje ukuthi amadolobha ayadiphuphela odvana. Uhulumende lomkhulu is saying I want a smart Eswatini. So nathi siya aligna kulo mgomo wa smart Eswatini, smart Mbabane. So kithi mawukhulumisa lokho number 1 babonile emaswati kungena ma camera kungena ma traffic lights sifaka ema sensors in our traffic lights which will help us of course to monitor traffic patterns. Nibonile Mbabane river kufakwe ma probes atakhona kusinike ama early warning systems asitshele ukuthi emanise akaphakama sikhone kwena early warnings jele bantu abahlala along the river nemabhizinisi ukuthi hey ngathi sive manje lamakhulu ayeda konke lokuthi insita and it's technology enhancing what we do in the short term siyafuna lokuthi 1 siwangete lama camera edolobheni increase the safety of it nyalo sesintegrated nemaphoyisa engonyama sekavela ati monitor real time but we want to use that ecosystem and grow security in the city. Kwesibili ngikhulume ukuthi ma traffic lights there's nema camera la fakwe khona wona akabuki kuphela ama accidents abuka nema in monitoring patterns. So in the short term stawufaka nema traffic lights that are linked to that lavela tishinjele makabona ukuthi ma traffic volume semaningi kubheka le semancane kubheka le they can even do smart reporting to you in terms of timvo letingahambi kahle. They can even recommend ukuthi ngathi imoto leti igcwele kulomgwaqo lo dijika right so maybe do a right turn lane to avoid traffic congestion. So the traffic lights that we're seeing lama camera khona enda lo msebenzi lo sifuneka siwaconnect and put emalambu latawuthatha apike that. And we talk about green cities and smart environmental monitoring lama probes lafakwe kuMbabane river we can really do more. When you talk about global warming you talk about letimvo lesibonako nyalo selina kakhulu the rains are heavier and stronger. Now that needs to translate to how we are building emadolobheni. Building Act yethu ya 69 but now buka leso sikhathi nanyalo sekukhona ama materials la khona la sa modern nyalo that can help us to build tindlu leti green tindlu leti generatela heat and all of that. So those are the things that we're trying to look at in the short term and of course kukhulumisa ukuthi asingawashila amaswati ngiko sine master class asihambe nemaswati teach them about smart living so that they in their equally small spaces when a smart smart Eswatini, smart Mbabane, smart Kafaguti. So it must translate to the household level.
Don't forget the cards, in my kitchen, right?
And if you are just joining us now, we are still broadcasting live from the hub of the country in Manzini at the Eswatini International Trade Fair. And we have just heard from the CEO of Mbabane, the capital city, who was telling us, about smart city living, whereby they were really now taking us deeper into understanding what is it really that means when you have a property right in the city. What does it mean for you? We are talking about the masterclass that was organized there, and we are sure that such things are about to extend across all the cities that we have in the motherland. And right now we have yet another guest in studio, and we have Eswatini Air, which is our national airline in the Kingdom of Eswatini, whom we'll also get to hear from them as to how do they manage, or rather how do they take the theme of digital transformation 2.0 in this year's trade fair. And today who joins me on studio is Batabile Nkambule, who's going to take us through what the journey has been like with Eswatini Air. Welcome, Batabile.
Thank you, Neliswa. Sanbonani. Hello, hi.
All right. I'm sure that, by now, after Eswatini Air launching in 2023, there's been a lot that has actually happened as far as transforming and digitalizing your services has gone. So I'd really like you to put me in the picture to say, how far have you gone as far as digital transformation is concerned as Eswatini Air?
Well, Eswatini Air operating in the airline industry. The airline industry is quite digital. So by the time we launched, we'd already set ourselves for digital transformation. Our processes are quite digital. We are building up on that as per the needs of our clients as we go by. So for example, we've got our digital platforms for booking, which we tend to push more than our offices because, our people still want to come to the office and sit down with you and discuss their travel logistics. So we have our website, www.eswatini.co.za, which in this current trade fair, we have come with a special of 15% off all flights, on all our destinations. Wow. If you buy at the trade fair, and this one is only online, it's not for the website for someone sitting at home, but someone comes and we do the transaction on their phone by themselves.
Right on the spot.
On the spot, we coach them on how to do it if they're not comfortable, and then we put in a promo code there, we put in the passcode for them so that they don't distribute it. Hey, we want them to come interact with us, we want them to be in the moment, catching the digital transformation 2.0 live on our stand.
All right, I think this is really interesting, Batabile. I'm sure somebody really wants to hear more. All right, so Eswatini Air is at the International Trade Fair. What more do you have? I feel like this is just a tip of the iceberg, but what really do you have apart from that you are bringing to people at the International Trade Fair this year, which they can find when they visit your stand, apart from the 15% off?
What's exciting for us this year, as a first of its kind, we have come to the trade fair as RENAC group of companies, which is Royal Eswatini National Airways Corporation, which we've always been asked about. A group of subsidiaries, which Eswatini Air has just recently been turned into a subsidiary, but we're still working on those logistics. We've always had RETA, which is Royal Eswatini Travel Agency. And then we've got our ground handling cargo department, that deals with our baggage, our incoming flights, handling, and all of that. So we are on one stand as the RENAC group, subdivided into Eswatini Air, RETA, and cargo, which brings this interesting perspective because we are fully functional, which means if your bag was lost, you can come right at the stand. We work on those logistics and track where the whereabouts. If you want to book your trip to any part of the world where Eswatini is not flying, RETA is there for you for the boat cruises, for the packages, and all of the stuff that maybe Eswatini is not yet offering. And Eswatini is there live to offer flights to all destinations, and everything that we do is Eswatini Air. So apart from that 15% off, we also have a special running on social media, still on the digital, where we want people to like our pages, follow us, share the post, and tag their friend. There's 4 tickets, 4 of them. Each winner will walk away with 2 tickets so that you tag your friend or whoever your +1 is to that particular destination that you might have. You will have one. So one is running on Facebook, the other one on Instagram, and we'll be announcing on 7th of September the winners. So you just take your friends. We're still pushing people towards digital, get the updates. They're live on our social media channels and all. So it's purely that we are quite functional this year. We want to resolve your problems live on the stand. We are pushing towards digital. We are talking about our online check-in. We are talking about all our platforms. We are integrating our complaints, register, and all of that so that we cater for the holistic needs of our clients.
I think, our viewers will really want to know for sure that they are hearing you very well when it comes to that promotion that we are talking about. Let's talk about the eligibility, how do they actually come into the space of actually being standing an opportunity to winning those flight tickets to their places of destination? Like, what really do they have to do, like the nitty-gritties of everything that they need to do on those social media? Because I'm sure they are listening intently, wanting to know, how do I win that ticket with my partner?
Basically, you get on our social media pages, Facebook and Instagram. You do the same thing on both pages, Facebook and Instagram. You like the page, you follow the page, you post that poster. It's a poster that we put in the post about the winning, and then you tag as many friends as possible. So those that have tagged many friends, amongst them will be the winner. We always do raffle draws around these things, but some are quite obvious as you look down to see how many people were tagged. So both Instagram and Facebook, you do the same thing. We want to push people towards our platforms so that they can get our latest updates, because that is where we put in everything as it comes. So it's simple as that, and just by doing that, you could walk away with 2 tickets for yourself.
Wow, that's really amazing. I think this is my time to fly. By the end of this month, I will be flying to somewhere. Is it like, do I have a choice as to which place on the routes that you have do I go?
Definitely. When we give out, we give our best. So we just say, choose your destination after you win. Then you tell us, I want to go to Cape Town. We fix the dates. We get it done.
All right, that's exciting. So my last question for you, Batabile, would be, what are the future prospects looking like for Eswatini Air, growth-wise, to the number of routes and just your services, as we keep on expanding and increasing in the motherland?
Well, Eswatini is set to grow. We intend to keep, on the skies, to soar, to keep launching. We are doing quite a lot underground because these things are strategic. You don't want to expose too much of it, but there's routes definitely coming. We do our studies, we analyze the trends, and we see how far we can go, because we have a strategy of short haul for now, but our next route is definitely Lusaka, as we've been talking. Lusaka, Zambia, straight from Eswatini. Wow. So we are looking around which other routes to blend with those ones and which other routes to launch after Lusaka. It's still going to get interesting. Eswatini Air is set to soar, and we are here to make the country proud of us, to keep the flagship up in the skies where it belongs. So yeah.
Now that's really exciting. Thank you for coming through just to talk to us, Batabile.
Thank you, Nelisa.
I'm sure you have heard it for yourself, Babugeli, be Eswatini TV. Eswatini Air, we are going to take a short break, and when we come back from that break, we are going to have the Minister of Housing speaking on smart living. Stay tuned.
Minister, thank you so much for joining us today. Siyabonga kakhulu ukuthatha isikhathi sakho. Mhlambe Minister, umuntu angabuda ukuthi le idea mhlambe lo mqondo lo smart cities evela ngwane thena kuqala samangalo ukuthi seyini manje le sebafuna ukusicosha emadolobheni. Le idea iqhamuka kanjani? Iqhamuka kuphi, Minister?
Siyabonga Masangane. I-idea esivusele eMaswatini, i-idea ema-smart cities iqhamuka etinhlangothini nje letehlukene temhlaba, but kakhulu ivela ekuhlanganeni kwemhlaba wonke wakhe ama-sustainable development goals. Kwaze kuyakhanya ukuthi impilo yebantu nje, ngoba itibalo tithi bantu naso yofika eminyakeni wa-2050 batabeze babaningi laba bahlala emadolobheni kwendlula abantu abahleti ezindaweni etingasiwo amadolobha. But if singayinaki le nhlalo yalapha emadolobheni, nempilo emadolobha, ne-behavior yawo, nekwakheka kwawo, nokustructurisha kwawo, ungasho ukuthi sidabe asikhoni ukumanage ikusasa. Ngiko-ke lokwase kwenta umhlaba ukuthi udevelop le concept lekuthiwa smart city. Le city ayibe smart, but lo smart city kahle kahle unama-components lamaningi. Sinenje lapha eSwatini cishe siyilontshe lambabani, kulontshe khona umhlonishwa uNkulunkulu ne-support lebe iqhamuka Republic of China, Taiwan, kakhulu kulokufaka lama elements labonakalako ale smart cities, your cameras, throughout the city, monitor nekwenza surveillance. Akusiyo ukuthi kokuciza abantu lento ukuthi sale bangendi into letinye but kwaloko ukuthi lele lambabane nje i-system ikhona ngisho ungakhona ngisho kubala i-10 yetimoto ukuthi at any given traffic light erobotini imoto leti jikela ngalati ingakhi ngasiphi isikhathi. So uyakwati ke ku-customize le robot ukuthi livulele leto timoto letiningi tihambe masinyane ngoba uyatibona ukuthi tincane letijika tibhekane kube traffic congestion. So i-concept yema-smart cities inetinto etiningi mhlawumbe umuntu wathi ngalanga lonke ukuchaza but lokukhulu kakhulu kulokuthi 1 asente impilo ibe lula yemlohlela edolobheni. 2 asente kuhlala edolobheni kube friendly. 3 asente lokuhlala lapha edolobheni kube green, kube sustainable, possible. Lokho ke kwenta ukuthi lidolobha bese sithi le-smart. So liningi kakhulu ku-digitization technology nganhlanye na-greening nganhlanye. So no lenhlangothi letotonibili bese kuba i-behavior yebala ngoba nayo ungeke sibe ne-smart city if the people are not beginning to think smart. So there's a whole kunento lenze ye-mindset change lefunendeka ukuze sikhona ukuphila in a smart city, which is why we are starting these master classes here in Babane, because we are trying to bring noma sizama ukuthi abantu ababuye umqondo ushintshe kahle kahle.
Zama ukuthambisa la ingqondweni tethu. Mhlambe ke nasi sedolobha selithuthukile Mbabane ngimanzini, nasizuzane thina abantu esihlala edolobheni ngoba sifuna ikhanza sesibaleka sithi hey le ntuthuko le ngathi into simokucala okunene. Ngizuzana mina ngingumuntu nje just the general public mhlambe nasoma business naye tamsita kangakanani ukuthi abe part of this development.
Siyabonga msangani. Kakhulu sizuza impilo. Quality of life. Nyalo nje ke kwaphuma inotice ephepheni ye-air quality ukuthi umoya lesiwuphefumulako ubonakala ngathi nyalo ungcoliswa na ukuthi sishisa iganga indiscriminate. So lento lena ine-impact ekuphileni kwebantu simente sakunaka nyalo ubosolo ngiyaphefumula but uthole ukuthi ngiphefumula nje sekunyonakala lema-papin ami. In the long run it is affecting my health or even cutting my life expectancy. So edolobheni nangabe kusho idolobha lingasiko smart in all its forms liyayiphazamisa impilo. So once abantu zuza impilo ukuthi impilo yethu la dolobheni ayibe easy, but sibo somabhizinisi siphinde sivulekelwa amathuba ngoba nangabe kusho ukuthi nje besolo sisebenzisa ake ngibekise ukuthi besolo sisebenzisa imoto nasihambako la dolobheni but sekuvuleke i-opportunity yetidududu kumbe nemabhayisikili siyasayiklisha nyalo lento isho kushintsha noma isho ukuvuleka kwamathuba lamasha emabhizinisi. So kosomabhizinisi kusho nabo they must keep thinking, keep evolving and keep moving with the times. Yeah, so bayazuza-ke nanginjalo ngoba kusho ukuthi ayanza lama-business opportunities with time, but at the same time senda leti ndzawo tethu leti lapha emadolobheni ibe eco-friendly and attractive kubantu bangaphandle. Indzawo lelihlata nje lekahle le-maintaineke kahle ikudonsela tivakashi ikulethela tihlongo nalokungatati. Lokusho ukuthi nakungena tivakashi kungena umnotho kungena nakuya ngechubeka sikhathi ukhanza sinetibhedlela tethu nathi solo ti-improve atisagcwali abantu labaningi kodwa sekwatiwa ukuthi ti-efficient ibhedlela zaseswatini ngalo sathi kagcwali. So lento lesesicreate labo medical tourism. It's a whole list of
medical tourism, that's a nice term right there. Kwagcina nje Minister sesihamba, what are the long term, siqale ngama short term, the short term goals and long term goals ayo le project le yema smart cities kangwane?
Short term digitization kanye na greening. Siyamsebenza ke nemadolobha lamaningi lamba abaningi lobe bahlanyela tihlahla benda all sorts of things. Lento leyo isho ukuthi ngama low hanging fruits la for a smart city, but at the same time sifuna kuya ngeku-oriente emaswati ekuthenini nawakha sakhiwo sakho saluyibeka phela sami solar plant inyana laceleni utowuphawarisha umuntu wakho. So that's long term. Le tinto leto solo siyatikhuluma and sishintshane ama-building codes alamadolobheni nyalo ukuthi ato-accommodate those kinds of things and encourage, not just accommodate but encourage as well. Khona sitokhona lokuthi in the long run emadolobha ethu vele abe eco-friendly, abe resilient, abe inclusive, abe smart in the true sense.
Minister, thank you so much for joining us today. September ukuthi na utabukhona trade fair utokhona kubuka semaswati avakashela tipiti tandi ayakhona ni understand the idea smart city. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much. The show in Stabes khona now emaswati Stabes qhubeka so engage on this idea. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Welcome back, Babugeli be Eswatini TV, wherever you are joining us from. If you are watching us on your traditional television set, make sure that you do tell your friends and family that we are also live on YouTube. They can join us there and be able to see the proceedings right here at the Vuso Trade and Exhibition Center, where we are having the Eswatini International Trade Fair 2025. And I'm sure we have just seen a video clip right now from the Minister of Housing, who is speaking about smart living. And that does not conclude the people that we are actually going to hear from today, as right now, right here in the studio in Manzini, we have the lead specialist communications of the Central Bank of Eswatini, Mr. Lwazi Dlamini, who is going to tell us more about what is it that they are bringing as the Central Bank of Eswatini at the trade fair this year. Mr. Dlamini, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, and good afternoon to you.
All right, that's awesome. Mr. Dlamini, I just want to understand that, what does the Central Bank of Eswatini bring to the table, most particularly as we are talking about digital transformation 2.0? What does the bank has for us at the trade fair this year?
Thank you so much. It's such a pleasure to have a conversation with you and also to be able to explain to Emaswati at large what the Central Bank of Eswatini is bringing in this year's trade fair.
Awesome.
So in line with the trade fair theme, creating business networks, as the Central Bank, we are bringing the first component, which is the payment switch.
All right.
I think our viewers will remember that the Central Bank has introduced, late last year, a payment switch, which is allowing Emaswati to now transfer money from one bank account to another bank account. You can also be able now to transfer money from a bank account to a wallet.
All right. Sorry, Mr. Dlamini. We will just take a short break and we'll come back to our interview. Let's take a short break, but we're by Eswatini TV. We are coming back just now. Stay tuned.
Ngikwende konke lobekubhekekile kimi. Nginikele ngenkadi nemandla ami onke ngifeza tifiso tenu. Ngathela Lthando nenjabulo ngithobela imiyalo yenu. Don't want to pursue manje. Touch me. Konke ngithembekile. Ngakhomba kuba indvodzana leqotho. Kodwa lokho bese ngikufuna manje ngeke ngikuthola. Ngekwami akusiko wena. Yimpi nekufa kuphela lokudangihlukanisa nawe.
Hey Eswatini, are you ready to experience TV like never before? From the 29th of August to the 7th of September, Eswatini TV is broadcasting live from the International Trade Fair, bringing you Digital Transformation 2.0, reloaded and redefined. Swing by our stand to meet your favorite personalities. Snap those perfect pics.
Welcome back to the show, Babugeli be Eswatini TV. We are still seated down right here at our studios at the Mavuso Trade and Exhibition Center, whereby we are talking to the theme of Digital Transformation 2.0, most particularly today, zeroing in or focusing on digital banking and, of course, smart housing solutions. And we are still seated down with Mr. Loazi, the lead specialist, communications of the Central Bank of Eswatini, who will tell us more about what they have as the Central Bank of Eswatini that they are bringing to us right here at the trade fair, which you can get to enjoy when you interact with them at their stands. Mr. Dlamini, can you take us through, sir?
Thank you so much, and thank you to our viewers at home. What we are bringing as the Central Bank of Eswatini this year, we are bringing the national payment switch. We want to explain to Emaswati that the problem that was there before, where you had to send money, you wait for the weekend, it's going to come on Monday, has now been solved by the Eswatini payment switch, which now allows the Maswati to send money from one bank account to another bank account. And it happens instantly. Wow. There is also another component of the switch which allows what we call interoperability, to be able to send money from one bank account to another wallet like Momo. So that means now if you want to send money from town, you are having an account and there is Gogo Emakaya Lona mobile money, you will be able to send that. So that is the message that we are sharing at the trade fair. Emaswati can come and learn more about other things related to the switch.
All right, that's awesome. You know, Mr. Dlamini, speaking about learning, you know, earlier I visited your stand, you know, in the morning, and I found an interactive session there whereby they were talking about fintech regulatory sandbox. I would love you to unpack it a little bit to our viewers at home, just for them to understand. What are you talking about when you talk about that?
As we know that innovation is evolving. I think now we have, we are in the fourth industrial revolution, going towards the fifth one, and we have seen innovations coming from different sectors. And there is this sector that is growing that we have seen, which is the fintech sector. Even there, innovation is happening. So the central bank has come up with the regulatory sandbox to be able to understand these emerging technologies. So for innovators, startups that have got innovations that they would like to test, whether it's something existing or something that has not yet been introduced in the market, we have provided a relaxed environment that allows them to be able to test their product. And we, as the central bank, have been able to look at regulations that we can relax. I'll give an example. If there were 10 requirements for you that you needed to meet before you can get full licensing, we are going to relax a few of them just to allow you to test your product, and for us to understand as well the kind of regulations we need to put in place to support your innovation.
Wow, that's really exciting. I'm sure our viewers are really enjoying hearing this one, that we are going to have a relaxed environment whereby innovators that are coming up in the motherland can actually get to test their products in such an amazing way, in a controlled environment, the way that he's putting it to Mlangeni here. You know, many people, when you talk about the central bank, they cannot separate it from currency. It cannot be separated from the legal tender. So in that aspect of things, what has the bank prepared for us that you can school us on, maybe as far as our currency is concerned?
First of all, you know, our Lilangeni currency is our pride. For me as a Dlamini, it also carries my name, my surname Lilangeni. So,
that's awesome.
Yeah, so that is what we are bringing to the trade fair. First of all is knowledge about the Lilangeni currency. If you want to know the evolution of Lilangeni, you know, you also want to know about the security features that are in our currency, which is Lilangeni. We are able to share that information with you. And also, if you want to know that if it happens, you get a banknote that has been stained by a green ink, what is that ink? What is that ink for? We are able to explain to you what that is about. We call it a die-stained note, and what you need to do with that note.
All right.
And in case you've got a note that is torn, or that is dirty, or that is now old, sitting at home, you can bring it to the trade fair. The central bank is going to exchange that and give you a new note. So in terms of currency, that is what we are doing. We are also giving an update for those that are interested on how we have concluded the Central Bank Digital Currency Project, which we have been able to conclude. And we are also sharing lessons and learnings from that project.
All right.
Yes.
You know, Mr. Dlamini, I don't think I can actually let you go out of the studio without talking about the brilliant dream that we saw when the central bank was celebrating 50 years. You know, we are talking about futuristic plans that the bank has, which also speaks into procurement of a lot of things that are actually coming into that space as you are trying to make that dream become a reality. So what can you tell us about that dream, that amazing dream that is happening down there at Eswatini?
What I can say is that Sikutal Bayete, you know, for His Majesty, who came last year on the 10th of May and did the sword cutting for the construction of the new CBE headquarters. But maybe I will just shift a little and talk about what we have managed to do for our suppliers, companies that want to contribute towards the various projects that are there at the central bank, because the headquarters project is part of phase 1, but there are a number of activities that the central bank is engaging in, particularly around construction. So the central bank is introducing the e-procurement system that will allow Eswatini, who have got companies, small, medium and large companies, to be able to become vendors of the bank. And when an opportunity for procurement appears, they will be the first to know. And since we'll have their documents, their compliance documents, it will be easy for them to then get the jobs that are available within the bank. So we are hoping that as we grow as a Eswatini, as we contribute towards the economic development of the country, we'll also be growing with the Eswatini. The small businesses, those that are around the place where we are now located at Eswatini, they will be able to access the opportunities through the e-procurement system.
Wow, that's amazing. Kanse Eswatini njengoba sibukela Nkosi ayajabula kakhulu kuva ukuthi libhange elikhulu livule etandla ukuthi wonke umuntu angathi imbanzakanya kulo msebenzi lomkhulu nakangaka lo wendeka kezulwini. Ngingake ke luhambe Nkosi nitholakala kuphi ke eshowini mhlambe kusene umuntu losahlela ekhaya ukuthi ngiyeda mne eshowini ngifuna ukulethela na imali lengayithola angathi kuphi nayo le inki lelihlata sisitakala kanjani. Where do we find you at the trade fair this year?
We are located at Mavuso Hall 1, the main hall. Stand said for now kule stadium, the mini stadium there. You just turn left and you will find the central bank there. Umjoli Eswatini will be eagerly waiting for you and to assist you with whatever you need. Thank you.
I must say, Babugeli by Eswatini TV, that when I went there earlier, I saw that there were also some freebies that were being given to people. I don't know whether Umlangeni has one for me as we're here in studio, but we will talk about that after. For now, let's take a short break, and when we come back, Nokpila will take you on as we continue with our live broadcast. Stay tuned.
Premier League is back. Win big when you pay your TV license at the 2025 International Trade Fair. Step into the excitement at the Trade Fair, where staying connected brings you incredible rewards. Pay your TV license at our booth and stand a chance to score fantastic prizes all week long. What can you win? A dreamy weekend for two at Happy Valley, your perfect escape. A gourmet dinner thanks to our Sibanisami Hotel dinner voucher. A relaxing getaway with a George Hotel voucher. Delicious meals with an exclusive Ramblers Dining Restaurant voucher. The hottest tech gadgets from Computronics to upgrade your viewing experience. Food hampers by Logico. Building and fencing materials from Build It and Maxdale Eswatini. A tranquil retreat at Simunye Country Club. And that's just the beginning. Grab the Skujana remote for only 100 emalangini or treat yourself to a new Skujana at just 350 emalangini. Never miss a moment with Eswatini TV. 29 August to 7 September 2025. Mavuso International Trade Fair. Don't let this chance pass you by. Join us, pay your TV license and find yourself among the lucky winners. Connect, experience and win. See you at the Trade Fair.
Nesi Nkosami ufika uthi nangumfana wenu Ngingasho umntwana ngiyamehlika ngimondle. Sathi ngathi umlahle.
Mina bengiphila impilo yokuhlala ngigijima ngaso sonke isikhathi ngekuba bede badala. Ngakumva nami ngitolala naye emapayipini kuNkulunkulu utosisizo.
Akabuyele emuva kakhulu ngemaqiniso. Asunyanyana dala. Angithethi. Into wathi ngimdala. Akasudlala lo mntwana ngakho.
Sinemukele futhi siqhubeka na broadcast yethu. It's the 2nd of September 2025. Sise trade fair theme with digital transformation. We are connecting businesses or creating business networks, but today specifically sigcile kakhulu ku digital banking and housing. Sinenhlanhla namhla ukuthi sinebaka Eswatini Revenue Appeals Tribunal. Sinakuva ukuthi evenda kangwane ba sebenda msebenzi muni baqale nini futhi kuba Revenue Appeals Tribunal evenda kangwane ene ukuthi ema functions abo benda ini nani nangabe ngiliswati ngibukela nje nyalo ngisitakala kangakanani when I take maybe a specific matter up with them. So joining me right now with Communications Officer Sihle Wakasilongonyane. Sihle, good afternoon. How are you doing today?
Thank you, Ngiyaphila.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us today. Mhlambe nje usichazele ukuthi Revenue Appeals Tribunal Eswatini RAIT, right?
Yes.
So that's the acronym. Wenda evela kangwane.
Siyabonga kakhulu. Mhlambe ngacala ngekuthi countries world over nelive la kangwane sisebenzisa kakhulu umthelo ukuthi sifande government business which is providing services to civil zakangwane. That tax is collected by Eswatini Revenue Services lokunguye lo mandated ukuthi akoleke umthelo evenda kangwane. Uye ukhanza ukuthi ke nakutheliswa kusho ukuthi kutheliswa abantu labane mabhizinisi ke noma loyo losebenza or anyone who is in that particular country lokhona ukuthi akhona ukuthela. Uyukhanza ukuthi ke kuleto dimoleto tiba khona dinkinga lethi bese tiyavela ukhanza ukuthi mhlambe yena umthelisi naye lo thelako sekhanza ukuthi kunedinkinga ngisabonswana ngasolinye. That's where we come in as Revenue Appeals Tribunal kuzama ukucatulula le dinkinga leto letiba khona between umtheli kanye nemthelisi. So the Revenue Appeals Tribunal was established in by the Revenue Appeals Tribunal Act yanga 2019 lokungiyona yasisungula ke le Revenue Appeals Tribunal. However, in terms of operating iqale kakhulu kusebenza kuye umnyaka wa 2022. So it's been some few years sikhona sebenza evenda kangwane sizama ukucatulula nje imizaba letihambisana mayelana nemthelo.
Yeah, ngafuna futhi singene ekutheni what are some of the challenges that you face before we get into that? What are the functions nyalo asesingene ukuthi okay nali lihovisi likhona so uchazile mandate yalo eliqale nini liqale ngayo act ya 2019, but now what are the functions? What do you do on the ground that touches me and a business person?
Okay. Kushothi ke uma ngabe mhlambe kunemuntu noma ke an organization lenesikhalo lesithide mayelana nokuthi ke mhlambe sekunedinkinga letikhona between them and areas. Sine ke sibuke na imthelo leng3 lengathi mhlambe ikhona evenda kangwane lokun Custom and Excise Act tax lokuyi value nephinze bese bayi value added tax kanye ne income tax. Miba khona ke leminye imithelo lengaba khona mhlambe lesingafuna ukuthi siyibukede but ke siyesibukele kwenzaba leto letintsathu lokuthi mhlambe ke ngiyathi nje inkampani iyayibhatala iVAT. Bamba yibhatala finance yes. Bamba yibhatala iphezulu and so bese siqala lapho letinkinga bese tiba khona. So ke thina we hear and determine lawo ma cases lawo ukuthi ngabe vele kusatheliswana kuhambe kahle yini kakhulu in terms of that space.
That space. Yeah. And speaking of value added tax, right? My customers or consumers different products and services, ngiyaya isitolo X ngibone lapha VAT ingimali what percentage of that money ngisho kangakanani ngithemba kangakanani ukuthi ngeke kube nesitolo mhlawumbe ngisho ukuthi kunabozidlani la ngaphandle but ngithemba kangakanani ukuthi i-tax lestheliswa yona as people just consumers ingiyo.
I think lokuhle kakhulu kuloko ukuthi ke ema prizes kuna Eswatini Competition Commission loku nguye locisha aqinisekisa ukuthi ema prizes lesiwabona etitolo angiwo sekungeke sekungente kwakhanzakala ukuthi mhlambe sinkwa ngiyabekisa sesidulile kulesinye isitolo seshipile so sikhona liso likhona ke lapha in terms of saying ukuthi basigatsele lokho kepha ke nangabe tiba khona letinkinga uyakhona nokuthi nangabe uyibone nje ukuthi ngathi lokho asikasolisa ke kwendeke nje kube netigaba lapho khona ama prize ke ngithola sayanyuka umangala ukuthi asanyuswa yindla uyakhona ukuthi ubese uyabika ke leto ama organization lafanele kepha ke thina nje sicishe sibuka lokho ukuthi nangabe kunale appeal ekhona between you na IRS space yakhona ukuthi siyisombulule specifically letindzaba lethambisana nale tax kakhulu
ukhuluma nje about prices you know ngesaba netinkinga tabo COVID-19 ikakhulu inkinga ye-unrest leke yabakhona evenda kangwane kwaba ne-shortage lenkulu kakhulu sasinasibuya esitoko sesikhona ama-prices anyuka is that how it's supposed to be? Is that legal? Should we be reporting anything like that?
Ngingathi ke mhlambe kuloko nangabe khona lokusolisako longakutfoli kahle kuye kube khona ukuthi usungaya ke regulator lokhu ngoba cishe leto tibuka kakhulu kulo Eswatini Competition Commission lokubuka ukuthi vele ngabe ama prices etinfo angiloku lokugazetted yini kona nangabe sekungathi sekanyuka kakhulu ngilapho khona bese bangena khona ikakhulu bazame kusombulula leto tinkinga leto.
Okay. So now let's speak to some of the challenges mhlawumbe lenibhekene nawo uthi leniqale ngeminyaka 2022 kule minyaka lemithathu lesenisebentile you know what are some of the challenges leningena bhekana now just to highlight them nala common nje nisa interact nabo soma business nathi nje eLundu
mhlambe challenge ekuqala lengayisho ukuthi ngasinye isikhathi siyesibona ukuthi bambasengikade kahle lo ukuthi ngambe vele uyivula nini le appeal ngoba kithi nje nawe ufika ka Revenue Appeals Tribunal kufuna ukuthi nibe senihlulene na IRS lokusho ukuthi kufuna kube ne communication lecamba ku Commissioner General lethi I stand by my word ukuthi sicela usibhadale nakho lesicelako nangabe sekunale naleyo ncwadi leyo kufuna ke bese uyeda kithi ke kungakapheli 30 days utokhona kuvula leyo appeal asiyimukeli appeal nangabe mhlambe kusetele communication leqhabukile Commissioner General ukuthi vele sesihlulene kufuna kube naletimvo leto ukuthi usihlulene so lama challenges ayaqhamuke lapho ukuthi mhlambe lo minister of appeal kanti kusetele communication lebe khona ngale so weqeda igaba kufuna ukuthi vele lesigaba siqala ukuthi nikhulumisana na IRS nivane nangabe kanivani sengikhange uwelela ngala ngakithi lokunye mhlambe in terms of ukuthi mhlambe labanye basenga understand vele ukuthi ngabe lo mthelo kangwane uhamba kanjani lokuyinsaya kithi sonke nje sisebenzisana nizaba temthelo ukuthi sifundzise bambi lokuthi imthelo ihamba kanjani nalokuthi ukhanza ukuthi ngasikhathi kude nale evidence masiyendi bookkeeping tivole kanjalo so khanza ukuthi vele setiba inkinga ekuthenini lawo ma cases lawo asombululeke so sekungaba khuthata nje ukuthi nangabe une business noma nje individual no ukuthi umthelo wakho kanjani zama lokutifundisa vele nawe ulitholele lwathi so that ikakhulu nawe ibusiness nje lokuthi lama records ube nawo so that ayasita nasekunaletindzaba lethu ukuthi nasovula iappeal nje so that nayo yonke evidence kubalula lokuzama ukucathulela inkinga leto ukuthi isombuleke
sisa create ama networks lesithasiwakhe sise trade fair mhlambe kungaba global international trade fair semave ngemave right lokwenteka evenile lingimakhelwane kuyasithinza nathi ngandlela thide and sesiphile esikhathini sabo social media sithi asihambe sithuthuke you know so kuba nelihinyana ukuthi eSouth Africa bangahle banyuse tax nga 0.5% right tinvo letfana njengaleto how should we receive that as Eswatini sithuke sende njani ngoba sihlala khona le social media
ngiyabona I think lokuhle kakhulu ngelivela kangwane noma ngemave nje nangalivela kangwane ukuthi kunaleto lalama organization lafanele la cisha anake leto ndzaba leto kangwane nje sinayo Central Bank of Eswatini lokungoyelo regulator noma lobuka ndzaba ukuthi ama interest akhula kanjani ehla kanjani obvious nangabe khona lokwendeke level labamakhelwane mhlambe kutaba khona umthelelo khona la ngakithi but ke bakhona lokuthi basibukele basihlolele ukuthi ngabe devote ihamba kanjani sikhona ukuthi tilungiseke so ngathi ke sive nje sizame lo ukuthi through onke lama organizations lawo asakhona kubo social media asazama nalokuthi asiphele information leyo so kungaba ukuthi emaswati sikhutha lo ukuthi sizame lokuhlola ukuthi ngabe le information singayithola kanjani ngoba isuke ikhona ndawo bekisa nje bayikhiphile eSouth Africa ukuthi ngabe ngidawusha kahle ukuthi i-interest yabo yehlile.
Okay.
Sabona ngalilanga lilandzela wona ngithi bakhipha Central Bank ukuthi nakhona. So lokulandzela nje kubo social media lokuthi ngabe tinto thamba kanjani kuyasita kakhulu because the information is there. Kakhulu uyayithola information uhlele ekhaya uthola nje ukuthi kuhamba kanjani eveni.
Yabona le information njengoba uyisho nje uyidisha out imnanzi yashelela, but the question is as a person Emir, you know, Swazi, you know, how do I reach out to you? Nyalo hulumende wambo yakijima so shanga bo government new hand app, you know, nini are you aligning yourself with that app or maybe mhlambe any other kind of system than now to reach out to us?
No, kuyinfokotela enkulu ukuthi nathi sicishe kuleyo ndlela leyo. Kulambalanga nje khona lesilungisa ukuzama ukuthi ibo filing bethu babe sezingeni leselitulu lelilandzela yona letinto tabo AI. So nathi nje through social media sikhona kakhulu siyazama ukuthi sifundise eMaswati ukuthi ngalokuthi sese organization lensha siyazama lokwafundisa eMaswati through labo social media lesinabo. We have ama website la khona kuzama nje ukuthi bantu babe nale information. Siyakubona konke lokho ikhona but ke siyakufotela nokuthi sicishe abantu sibabone umcwana lokubona abantu siyele tinkundleni siyenela ama workshops because now asita lokuthi le interaction ibe immediate sikhona lokusombulula leto dinginga leto ngaleso sikhathi solesidinga ngaso.
Okay, so nyaloke sila trade fair sesephetha nje sise trade fair nendane trade fair nithini kithi nangita nje standing senu saka rate nifike nithini kimi yinde ningqudela kuko.
Okay, siyathokoza kakhulu ba trade fair because kusinika lesithuba sokuthi sikhona ukukhulumisana neMaswati. Siyajabula kakhulu nje trade fair ibhizi bayeta eMaswati ayabona ukuthi mdingapha ntiyasebenza ikakhulu ke thina sing revenue appeals tribunal sitele nje kutofundisa abantu ngaye revenue appeals tribunal ukuthi wendani yini lesiyendako from start to finish ma cases ethu siwenda kanjani yini lokudinga ukuze ukhona ukuthi uvule i-appeal kuyo revenue appeals tribunal yini timvo lesitendako sasebenza sifike ma-pattern aleyo case leyo. So cishe nje sikhona ku hall 1 singakhuthatha eMaswati ukuthi asivakashele sikhona ukuthi sibafundise ngayo revenue appeals tribunal. Baye bajike bangahambi bangatfola lufo siya na ipencil sibese sibapha yona ukuthi bakhona lezi computer nje ukuthi bafikele ka revenue appeals tribunal.
Ngihlede ekhaya ngibona ipencil ngithi asengireport ngalo ya 17% tax.
Yes, siyabona.
Sihle, thank you so much for joining us today. Nibe nesikhathi lesihle na lesimnanzi nisasebenza e-trade fair September seMaswati yadani vakashela.
Siyabonga kakhulu.
Well, ngusihle wakasihlongonyane communications officer we revenue appeals tribunal evenda kaNgwane ngo-rate RATE bavakashela standing sabo ke trade fair udova kabandi ngabo ukuthi bendane evenda kaNgwane sebana 3 years bakhona nawe bakusita uluntu nje umuntu general public evenda kaNgwane nabo somabhizinisi ke abakasaleli ngaphandle sethemba ukuthi khona lokufunzile asivakashele trade fair nathi sikhona sing Eswatini TV ungakhohlwa phela Pavilion 5 Eswatini TV studios sivakashele utothi hello. Let's take a break, we'll be right back.
Ngikwende konke lobekubhekekile kimi. Nginikele ngengadi nemandla ami onke ngifeza tifiso tenu. Ngathela Thando nenjabulo ngithobela emiyalo yenu. Don't want to pursue Madam. Don't touch me. Konke ngithembekile. Ngakhomba kuba indvodzana leqotho. Kodwa lo ngifuna manje ngeke ngikuthola. Ngekwami akusiko kwena. Yimpi nekufa kuphela lokudangihlukanisa nawe.
Hey Eswatini, are you ready to experience TV like never before? From the 29th of August to the 7th of September, Eswatini TV is broadcasting live from the International Trade Fair, bringing you Digital Transformation 2.0, Reloaded and redefined. Swing by our stand to meet your favorite personalities, snap those perfect pics for the gram, and soak up the VIP treatment you deserve. This isn't just TV, it's Eswatini TV, home of home-brewed content crafted right here for you. And hey, don't forget, paying your TV license isn't just a rule, it's your ticket to unlocking all the magic that we bring live and direct. So mark your calendars, bring your crew, and catch all the excitement live. Eswatini TV, where local stories come alive, and your screen gets the glow up it deserves. Digital Transformation 2.0, more like turn up and tune in 2.0. See you there.
Welcome back, Babugeli be Eswatini TV. We are still broadcasting live. Solo skona emavuso laskanigise khona pavilion number 5 ema studios ethu lapho khona solo kusikhulubisana nato hlobo tethu ngamunye bayasichazela kusi ngabe yini labayilungisile kude nanita eshowini ndawo khona kusintfole lokwanaloka lokulwati lokulisita kusisabuka yona indzaba ye digital transformation, and I'm sure sekunengele nikufunzile kito tonke inqoqiswano lesibe nato, and I'm sure you are really taking up the space now as far as digital transformation is concerned. So uyathi kahle ukuthi yini lokumele uyende nguphi la ungasitakala khona useta eshowini nkanzi utabe sewati kahle ukuthi ngisiphi stand longazivakashela. How has it been for you, Nophila?
It's been great, fantastic, lovely experience. You know, I'm a conversator, so I always love engaging with people. You know, especially these businesses or companies.
Of course.
Kufuna kwati like curiosity that killed a cat, but I hope it doesn't kill me. Ngokuthi bona bendani a trade fair. Lapha bakhuluma nebaga Eswatini ngiyababuta ukuthi kuba khona isikhathi lapho khona sitesta le ndiza nje sibantu yabo ukuthi ungabhada uteste uhamba bese uyabuya batshela ukuthi hayi ndize right.
Actually kukhona, because earlier they were speaking about a certain competition that is running la khona abantu kubhekeke nje ukuthi they can just like, follow, comment, tag all of their friends, and they stand a chance actually to win a ticket for 2. Lokho ngichazile Nophila about this promotion that they are actually having ukuthi naso itfolile lokusuwine ukhetha partner longahamba naye kuya ngawe ukuthi next ifuna kuya kuphi kulama destinations labanawo labangu4. So if you're just joining us now, maybe you can take advantage of that opportunity. Go on your Facebook, look for them, get that ticket and get out of the country. It's time for you to fly.
Yeah, we also just recently had a conversation with RATE, Revenue Appeals Tribunal event la kaNgwane. Bathi nyalo so utawukhona ukuthi nangabe kunenkinga ye tax lona mhlawumbe could be VAT, could be income tax, nalena lesiyibhadelako ke sisebenta njalo ngenyanga uyakhona ukuthi ubathinze, but bathi ke ungecita igaba ufuna ukuthi uqale ubikele lelibandla mhlawumbe nangabe sikhuluma nge-VAT uqala ukuya IRS iqala uyabikela IRS ukuthi yathi nginenkinga la stolo X mina sengibhadala umthelo longu 19% libe live lonke liselele emuva wena sobhadala umthelo longaka. That's one, you know, interesting, you know, thing that I just discovered, you know, from the conversations lesbenawo namhlala kwekuthi rate ukhona lathini sibosoma business nathi lunfu nje sesingakhona ukuthi sibathinze nangabe sinato letinkinga leto.
Lokunye ke Nophila lokungichazile sisakhulumisa tona ihlobo defle besinato ngiyindzaba ya Central Bank of Eswatini lobe kasichushisa ukuthi imali lesisebenzisako mhlambe ngabe uyabusiness lapha emuva ekhaya noma imali labakuniketa yena kufanele ukuthi ube nemehlo elikhozi laqaphele nalabukile ukuthi ngabe vele kusesengiyombamba yini le mali lelekhulunywa ngayo kungasiko lokho kuphela sike saba nenkinga lana Nophila lakho nokhanza ukuthi asikhona ikhambisa imali mina nje kuyangivelela lenzaba ukuthi ukhanza uzugatsa imali bathi iyeda ugatsa imali bathi yeda bathi no man 3 days uthi useme 3 days bathi no kahle besithi business days high low weekend. So i-Central Bank ke isiniketa isiqiniseko ithi konke lokho se-story lesitawushabalala siphele as we're talking about digital transformation because of what they are introducing. La khona imali utawusina uyitsinza embabane ivele ibivela ngale kalavumisa ngaleso sikhathi.
Cha basebenza kakhulu keneliswa ngoba sesibonile ukuthi bakha ngibathini center yabo, headquarters yabo ezulwini basitabang 21 stories shothi imali yethu isafe uyabona 21 stories so kutaba likhune ukuthi umuntu angene ayebe yona leyo mali but sisese theme yethu ke yalomuhla the 2nd of September 2025 it is digital banking and housing 2.0 right sikhuluma we smart cities property development kakhulu but financially are we there as a country as nokuphila am I there can I even purchase a house a smart house a good standard house si khona ukuthi engage nebantu abafana nemabhange sina MD we Eswatini Bank nozizwe Mulela Zulu notasikhulumisa ngokuthi bona bamabhange basesekela kanjani nakangakanani ngihola malini ngibone nje sekune promo lekhona la sinahola from 5 to 8k sota khona ukuthi uthole a loan ukuthi wakhe leyo one room yakho so yeah sibena lithuba ukuthi sikhulume naye MD aneliswa ngenzaba yawo ema smart cities.
All right, no, let's just take them right through but ivele bona ukuthi uthini mflomzala about that. Say
MD, thank you so much for joining us today. Siyabonga ukuthi uthathe isikhathi sakho lesihle nakangaka udokhuluma nathi ngenzaba ye smart cities nokuthi nilibhange nini ningenelana kanjani ningenelana kuphi futhi enzabeni ye smart cities evendla kangwane mhlambe umuntu angafuna kuva lo hlangothi ukuthi what is your interest in this topic or project or assignment?
All right, thank you very much for your question, and indeed, it's a good question. I think one thing you must appreciate, good team, we are young television. Desnayo as smart cities for our smart cities in Eswatini. It all centers around funding. Yes. That is the starting point. Appreciating the fact that kutsi singaba nayo le vision but kuyadingeka ukuthi kube netimali. Ukuthi yendeke leliphupho lethu ligcine liphumelele libonakele. That is where gethini silibhange we come in. Other than the fact that nathi siyi citizen pay. Ya ola madolobha ngoba siyakhanzakala nathi kula madolobha so sifisile lokho siwabone nathi ukuthi abe smart. But we are key stakeholders in terms of providing and availing finance or credit for our citizens to be able to support the big venture. Nasikhulumisa smart cities, there are different aspects and different areas of it. Okay. There's property development, which is the one that namhlanje sizokhulumisa yona, but there are all other areas, digitization, making sure that our properties are green, our cities are green, security, crime and security. So there's different things that we look at and silibhange sikwishe singene kuko konke. So for instance, namhlanje sizokhulumisa property ukuthi from a property development point of view and a property being an asset, we as citizens of these cities, we must see value in our properties. We must see beyond a property as being shelter if it is a residential house. What more can we do with it? Ngiyabekisa nje lambabane maningi ama-properties la ngathi abandoned or la khona abantu abadala abasekho baniphana lalabancane bona are not interested in staying in those properties. What can they do then with that property? It's a legacy property or an inheritance property. Bona, they shouldn't just see it as that, but they must see value in it and see what can be done so that there are business opportunities that come up in that aspect to say you can do something with the property so that it generates more wealth for you and your generation also. So okay, na property wangishiyela babe wangishiyela mkhulu bangi ngine property ngenda njani indlela engayenda to release or to unlock some money so that I can do something with it or do another business venture. For instance, semabhange ke uyati ukuthi now utekithi siyawathanda ama property as collateral. So the fact that you have property already, you have ticked your scorecard. Yes. So property can be used also in that way in terms of just advancing yourself, growing your own wealth, going into other business ventures, having sought credit, having sought capital from Emma Bank. To be able to give that. If you are venturing in the property development space anyway, we also avail funding for developing property. We are at a national level, property development and growth, like building of malls, building of offices or buildings in town, in our city. driver economic growth ngoba kuvuleke amathuba emisebenzi labakhako bathola umsebenzi ema-hardware store athola imali yes nebantu bayakhona kuvakasha. So there's a lot that then happens just from a property project that is happening. So as banks we are at the center of that, seeing to it that all that happens, and we support it in as much as we can. We have a housing department in the bank where you can come as an individual, as a business, to talk about what exactly is available for me in terms of the property development space.
Nice, well said, MD. Now, you know, silungele kangakanani ukhulume indzaba yokuthi siba nayo property, angishiyele mkhulu property kuze kubole ngingade ukuthi ngidawenda kanjani. Silungele kanganani? Safuna kufundiswa nangemali nakhona yebo bakhona emaklasi emabhanga ayasebenza sifundise about financial management, but how ready are we for living in a smart city and understanding the whole idea?
Okay, so my response to that is there will never be a time when you say, now we are ready.
Okay, let's go.
Let's start. You know, it's we are not at a race like now colors banko. So it's very skalile and activities such as the one that we're here for today, it is a start. We are working towards it. So kulungela angeke usho sekulungile. Sekulungile vele kade futhi kwalunga. Ngoba we can do that which we can as we move along. You know, I'll take for instance a simple example that I said when I was talking today, when I was telling the CEO and appreciating Mbabane City. I was like, CEO, thank you very much. When I drive into Mbabane, I'm seeing beautiful plants and trees and palm trees. And I can see that, you know what, vegetation, which is part of the green city, vegetation is coming alive in Mbabane. It didn't have to wait for a start. It's just happened. So tikhona naletinto letincane letingadzingi lamabhiliyoni lesingatenda as we move towards the green city story. So tikhona letinto lesingatenda letingadzingi lemali, but moving towards lowakhale imali itawuvela le mali kancane amabhange akangwane ayafanda akhona nemabhange lamakhulu international development banks that are already available so long as you tick the scorecard around kwekuthi bona ema requirements abo kuba yini. So asisu stresswa kwekuthi ngoba ngiyati ukuthi umuntu uthi nafuna ukuqala into bese nje kufika iple mali bese uhlala phansi sekuphela nje umdlandla bese leni pha isaqala asicaleni nje ngaloku lokukhona lokuncane, which is part of what we are doing here today.
Siyabonga kakhulu le class MD September ukuthi ataba khona lama emaklasi bomanzini kuhanje ucishe idolobha lonke sitokhona ku-understand wala lana senethi smart city thina sicabanga ama-robots sesicabanga into letigijimako sesiyesaba. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you have a great time.
I would love to meet Jigs because I'm pretty great at what I do, and honestly speaking, in terms of growth, I'm always looking to have a conversation with someone who I term to be in better standing.
He's hosted one of the biggest festivals, not in Africa, but in the world, you know, so just to pick his mind.
Looking back, what first inspired you to start creating spaces like House on Fire and then creating the MTN Bushfire Festival?
I think it's underpinned by passion. There was almost an innate appreciation and understanding of what I needed to do.
Not only to bushfire, but what's the importance of applying as an artist?
It's critical, Lucian, and and I said this earlier, don't stand in the shadows and wait for people to engage you. And this is the general kind of, philosophy on life. You've got to put your best foot forward. You've got to get in there. You've got to engage.
It is important to have shows like the platform to inform everyone, the youth especially, about information that is available outside other than because they wouldn't have had the opportunity to speak to Jigs himself. So having platforms like this enable them to get access to information and knowledge.
Catch the platform, a breakfast with a champion, Thursdays at 8 p.m. only on Eswatini TV.
Welcome back, and we are still broadcasting live from Mavuso Trade and Exhibition Center, and we have just seen a clip whereby Nozizwe Mulela of Eswatini Bank was giving us something about smart housing solutions, where they enter in as a bank and how to assist us to actually live our dreams. And it is Nophila actually that was actually talking to her in person, and finding out more about what we are talking about here. Nophila, smart housing, where are you on that? What's the dream for you?
Yeah, I'm for smart housing. I need to move with the times.
Right.
I need to know what's happening. I'm going to be curiosity, when it comes to our banks. Ngoba sinemali eflesigcinile emabhange. Ukuthi amabhange asita kanjani, siseta nje ku broadcast namuhla like maybe a day or two before we got into today. Ngibone ipromotion yelibhange etsite lo 5 to 8K ukuthi umuntu usangakhona ukuthi apply i-loan, i-home loan or housing loan, akhona wakha leyo one room yakhe. At least you have something so it's really important, and banks are out there to support us, and we need to also speak about the importance also the terms and conditions ukuthi safuna kuba smart isihambe with the times, are we have we read actually the blueprint, have we read the black and white, have we read all the terms and conditions of acquiring that loan ukuthi ngawukhona ngibhadala loan leyo, so one other thing speaks to smart cities also ngoba ngibena le concern ukuthi sithi emadolobha akathuthuka kahlakaniphe emadolobha kubene ma technology sesitaba ne technology nje ngivile embabane ukuthi leta khona ukuthi sense ema floods, so sesita khona ukuthi bantu sibacocomise nangabe sathi usekuta flood x la tikhukhula boneliswa tingabashayi lapha embabane. So it's one of the greatest things that I've learned from some of the conversations that we had here today.
I mean, today was really eye-opening for me because, when you talk about, for example, smart housing, I think gone are the days when you just need to build that basic house. If you're speaking about the smart city living, we want to see those automated doors. We want to see those automated curtains. The things that we always like and see on social media, those are the kind of things that we want to see right in our houses, which can actually be done, as long as you know how to work around your finances. As Nophila was saying, that it's all about having, that financial literacy. So if there are anything, and any information, centers, broadcasting centers, like this international trade fair that we're at, you can actually visit these places. There are different stalls that we have here, whereby they can actually take you through some kind of financial literacy, be taught about how to handle money so that you can see that destiny, or rather that dream that you are looking for coming into a reality.
Yeah, but it's 70 Sefuska Kuli technology as a driving tool for innovation, for creativity and transformation, right? So siyabona labanengi la trade fair ba promote music kwabo bahlabela itolo ngihleke ngaphose ngalimala sisu ngilalela abantwana laba mamatana. I think they're 8 or 9 years old now badlala umdlalo wekunyonga akusomdlalo lomnanzi lomuhle, but lethi inyongo iphuma lapha ngivele ngabona ukuthi hayi la sihlangene siphelele kunabuya kazindondo abuya kubozombotse nani vele inyongo tiyaphuma, so that's great to see young talent kule stage lesibekile i-ITF ukuthi sipromote nabe yahlabela uyagitata abantu uyahlekisa ngisomahlaya mhlawumbe unethi inkondlo uyadrayiva. That was the platform, that was the stage for you to do exactly that ku trade fair. But then ilithuba lisekhona trade fair isekhona sitabe sikhona that.
Of course ilithuba ezasakhuluma nje Nophila ukuthi ilithuba lisekhona. Maybe it would be to send a voice of encouragement, as most especially to young people out there, that you don't need to miss the trade fair, because this is the place whereby you can get to open up your mindset about a lot of things, to know the kind of industries that we have, the kind of companies that we have. It can open up your mind to learn a lot. So make that time to be here. So Nophila, before we wrap up today's business, because it's been a long day, what can you say is your biggest takeaway?
Oh my goodness, there's a lot. There isn't one, maybe from our conversations or just from e-trade fair in general. From our conversations today, or just the trade fair in general?
Just trade fair in general.
In general. Okay, it's always good to network, connect with the people. It's always good to see, new things, developments. It's always good to see, technologies, new technologies every year. Ngisena ngihamba mahola ngamaho pavilion by pavilion, kune machine lapha, kunabo VR, there's Googles, and government in your hand, naye akasalele emuva. There's so many, technological technological equipment that is lying around, you know, kukuwe ke mbukele ukuthi nawe utimbandzakanye ute trade fair utobuka ukuthi hulumende wesive sakangwane ukuthatha ukubeka kuphi. It's been lovely, it's been good. I had a great time today. Sinfundzisa the conversations that we had today ku live broadcast yethu la trade fair. Ngakhohlwa phela sikupavilion 5 sing Eswatini TV nafuna kuvakasha utobona uthi emalambe camera emakanjani come through on this spot, but it all starts here. It starts now. Digital transformation 2.0, creating business networks.
I can just say don't be left behind as the country is moving to another stage of transformation in the digital space. Make sure that you also take your stake in it, whether in business or just as a person. So do come here, you'll meet us. We are all here. We want to be transformed digitally. Until we meet again on our next live. Goodbye.
Good night.
The Ministry of Information and Technology is proud to participate in the 2025 Eswatini International Trade Fair, taking place from the 29th of August to the 7th of September 2025 at the Mavuso Trade Center in Manzini. This year's theme